Hey there, listeners. Are you ready to take your health to the next level? If you've been looking for a way to truly understand your body and unlock vibrant energy, balanced hormones, and a thriving metabolism, I've got something just for you. I'm so excited to announce my 3-part virtual workshop series, Rooted in Health, Cultivating Women's Wellness from the Inside Out. This series is all about you, understanding your unique microbiome, balancing your hormones, and fueling your metabolism in a way that works for your body. Here's what you'll learn: how to optimize your gut health for better digestion, immunity, and mood, the secrets to balancing your hormones and how to understand key health biomarkers, and strategies to support your metabolism through nutrition, fasting, and toxic-free living. And because you're part of this amazing podcast community, I've got a special offer just for you. Use the code Wellness20 at checkout to save 20% on your registration. But hurry, this offer is only available for a limited time. Head over to cultivatedhealth.org to grab your spot now. Let's cultivate your health from the inside out because you deserve to feel your best every single day. Again, that's cultivatedhealth.org, and don't forget to use the code Wellness20 at checkout. I can't wait to see you there. All right, let's get back to today's episode. Welcome to today's episode of Cultivating Her, Breaking Taboos, Balancing Hormones, and Redefining Women's Health. Today's episode is all about a topic that has taken the health world by storm: fasting. But we're just not talking about skipping meals or jumping on the latest trend. We are going to explore how fasting, when done intentionally and with a focus on your unique feminine biology, can be a game changer for your health. So we're going to unpack the science behind fasting, how it impacts your metabolism, your brain health, and even your cells at the deepest level. We're also talking about why fasting isn't a one-size-fits-all approach, especially for us ladies, and how important it is to align your fasting practices with your hormonal cycle to unlock the greatest benefits ever. But here's the kicker: fasting isn't just about what you don't eat, it's also about what you do eat. I'm going to share a few practical tips for breaking your fast the right way so that you can maximize the benefits and feel your best. So whether you're new to fasting or you've been experimenting for a while, I promise this episode is packed with insights and actionable advice to help you create a fasting lifestyle that works for you. So grab a cup of whatever you love, or maybe just even some water if you're fasting, and let's get started. Welcome to Cultivating Her, Breaking Taboos, Balancing Hormones, and Redefining Women's Health. I'm your host, Christy Edgar, an integrative nutrition health coach and holistic lifestyle expert. Join me as we dive into the world of menstrual health, hormone balance, and the connection to women's wellness. Whether you're looking to decode your cycle, tackle PMS, or manage menopause, this show is your go-to to syncing your lifestyle with your hormonal rhythms. Through candid conversations, practical tips, and a few expert interviews, Cultivating Her empowers women to embrace their cycles and align their lifestyle to boost energy and thrive in every phase of life. Subscribe now and start flowing with confidence as we redefine what it means to be a woman with harmonious health. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the podcast. So today I am going to be talking about fasting. This was not my initial idea of how my next episode was going to go, but I have literally had 3 conversations in the last week with friends and family regarding fasting, and I felt like it was an appropriate time to do a podcast to talk about fasting and my stance on it, since I am, in fact, a Fast Like a Girl coach. So I am a certified fasting coach. What I will say is, for thousands of years, fasting has been practiced both as a religious tradition and as a healing method. So it involves abstaining from food for a specific period of time. In a religious context, fasting supports spiritual growth, right? Like, this is how we were purified to hear the voice of God. While historically, figures like Hippocrates used fasting as a means to treat certain ailments. Hippocrates also believed that food was medicine. So, what you eat during your eating window is equally as important as the fasting itself and can enhance the benefits of the fast dramatically. So, recently, intermittent fasting has gained widespread attention for its weight loss benefits, and many are adopting this lifestyle. But what are the specific advantages to fasting, and why should you consider integrating this into your routine? As a fasting coach, it's important to me for you to understand that you are building a lifestyle. It's imperative that you be educated on what you're doing and that the tools, i.e., different lengths of fast, are to be used for specific types of healing. Like, you're to include them and build them into a lifestyle based on what you are trying to accomplish in your health. So today I am diving deep into the benefits of each fast length, as well as when and how to use them for optimal results. All right, so let's first explore the most notable benefits of fasting in general and how it can positively impact your life. So first and foremost is fat loss and weight reduction. Dr. Jason Fung was one of the very first doctors to introduce us to the idea that excess weight isn't calories in, calories out issue. It's a hormonal issue. Remember that hormonal hierarchy. This is extremely important for women entering perimenopause. It is vital to create a fasting lifestyle because when you fast, your insulin levels decrease, allowing your body to more easily access stored fat for energy. With less frequent food intake, your body becomes more efficient at burning fat, making fasting a powerful tool for weight loss. Fasting also improves insulin sensitivity. So, poor insulin sensitivity can lead to insulin resistance, increasing the risk of diabetes. Okay, fasting improves insulin function, helps stabilize blood sugar levels, and promotes better metabolic health overall because it creates metabolic flexibility. The more we practice this, the better the body gets at going back and forth between being a sugar burner and being a fat burner. The third thing that fasting does is it creates cellular repair and longevity. So fasting activates autophagy, a process where the body clears out damaged cells and regenerates new ones. So during this cellular housekeeping, cells repair themselves by removing and recycling damaged proteins. This process can enhance longevity and reduce the risk of chronic disease by keeping cell function optimal. Reduced inflammation. So chronic inflammation is a key factor in many conditions, including heart disease, arthritis, and certain types of cancer. And fasting has been shown to reduce inflammation markers, potentially lowering disease risk and promoting overall health. By giving your digestive system a break, fasting allows your body to focus on repair and on reducing oxidative stress and inflammation. This also boosts immune function and helps manage chronic inflammatory conditions. Fasting also boosts brain function. So fasting offers several cognitive benefits. Research suggests that it enhances brain function, stimulates the growth of new neurons, and may protect against degenerative diseases. Fasting also improves mood and mental clarity by increasing brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. It's a protein that supports our brain health. Okay, so key cognitive benefits would be enhanced mental clarity and focus, increased BDNF production, which supports memory and learning, and protection against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Okay, these benefits are especially relevant to women in perimenopause as estrogen levels fluctuate, affecting neurochemicals such as serotonin, dopamine, BDNF, and acetylcholine. Fasting can help boost the body's production of these important chemicals. Heart health. Fasting has been shown to reduce the inflammation markers potentially lowering disease risk and promoting overall health. Essentially, fasting helps heal the metabolism and supports our heart health. So, the emotional and mental benefits. So, fasting also helps regulate hormones linked to hunger and mood, leading to improved emotional balance. By practicing mindful eating and becoming more attuned to hunger signals, many individuals experience greater control, a heightened sense of well being, and even spiritual clarity during fasting periods. It really does. Ketones really do change the way that the brain kind of uses energy. So the brain actually prefers to burn fat. So that would kind of make sense as to why when we are in a fasted state and the body is making ketones, we're burning fat, that our mental clarity gets better. So the most well-known and widely practiced form of fasting is intermittent fasting. So this method helps restore the body's natural feast and famine cycle. To give some historical context, in primitive times, humans didn't have constant access to food. They had to hunt and gather, often going long periods without knowing when or even where their next meal would come from. During winter months, food scarcity could last for days. So our bodies are so resilient that they can thrive without food for extended periods. So when blood sugar and insulin levels drop low enough, the liver produces ketones. These ketones make humans more alert and more energetic, driving the motivation to seek food. Ketones also release stored glucose, insulin, and fat. Well, in today's world, with food constantly available, we often eat continuously, never giving the body a chance to switch to its alternate fuel system. By setting a clear eating window and a fasting window, you allow your body the time and space to function as it was designed. Start by gradually working up to 13 to 15 hours without food each day by moving breakfast back an hour. Stop eating after dinner, and then focus on foods that are nature-made, not ones that are heavily processed. So let's explore the benefits of the various fast durations, okay? So obviously, we have intermittent fasting, which is just 13 to 15 hours, okay? 13 to 15 hours is nothing. So this is used to get the body used to the feast and famine cycle. Ultimately, this is the baseline for everyday living, okay? This is how we reduce insulin levels. This is what stimulates autophagy. Intermittent fasting also increases growth hormone by up to 1,300%, okay? And growth hormone is what keeps us looking young, and it's a great thing for us to have. Great for perimenopause, and just this alone is enough to reverse insulin resistance, okay? The next, we have a 24-hour fast. So this is also dinner to dinner, or what they call OMAD, 1 meal a day. It is the most notable benefit is that it is an increased way to repair the gut lining. So an MIT study showed that 24 hours without food triggers your body to make intestinal stem cells. Now, stem cells are the body's master cells. They are special cells that can turn into any different type of cell in the body, like muscle cells or skin cells or blood cells. So they have not decided what kind of cell they want to be yet. They can make copies of themselves to create more stem cells, and then when needed, they can change into specific cells to help repair or grow parts of the body. So you think of stem cells as building blocks that help your body grow and fix itself, like when you get a cut or a broken bone. Scientists are studying them to find new ways to heal diseases and injuries. Intestinal stem cells are special types of stem cells found in your gut or your intestines. Their main job is to keep the lining of your intestines healthy and working properly. So they live in tiny spaces called crypts in the lining of your intestines. The stem cells in the intestines are constantly dividing and making new cells. So this is important because the cells in your intestines wear out quickly due to all the food and the bacteria that they deal with. Okay, so these stem cells can turn into different types of cells that your intestines need, like those that help absorb nutrients from your food, those that make protein, mucus to protect the lining of your gut, and then those that protect you from harmful bacteria by making special proteins. There are also cells in the gut that release hormones that help with digestion. Intestinal stem cells are like a new repair crew, a repair crew for your gut. They work nonstop to replace old or damaged cells in the intestines to keep digesting food and absorbing nutrients. Without them, your gut wouldn't be able to heal itself or function properly. So this type of fasting is pivotal for anyone who has any type of gut issue. You can change the entire terrain of your gut just by fasting for 24 hours. Of course, you do have to break the fast properly to really get the benefits. The next is a 36-hour fast. This is a fast to lean into if you want to overcome insulin resistance. It is the fast that Jason Fung uses in his clinic in reversing type 2 diabetes. So if your A1C is over 5, if your fasting glucose is over 90, this is great for stubborn fat that won't budge too. It's a healing fast that should be used as such, and it is meant to be cycled into a fasting lifestyle, okay? It is not meant to be done all the time. You need to genuinely understand what you're doing and why you're doing it in order for it to work properly, okay? And if you are insulin resistant and you are wanting to use the 36-hour fast, then I highly recommend that what you are eating on the days that you do eat, like you really need to dial that in. If you want the fast to work the way that it's supposed to and you want to do it safely and healthily, you need to, I think you just need a coach. I mean, that's really the bottom line. The next type of fasting is autophagy fasting. So it is probably the best for overall health, especially for practicing on a regular basis. So in 2015, Dr. Yoshinori Oshumi won the Nobel Peace Prize in Medicine and Physiology for his discovery on autophagy. So in the absence of food, your cells regenerate. It's like a cellular detoxing, and it works like a dimmer switch that turns on at 17 hours and reaches its peak around 72 hours. The cells go into a massive repair phase, fixing dysfunctional components inside the cell. So there are 2 requirements to stimulate autophagy. The first is to fast for more than 17 hours. And the second is to keep your protein below 20 grams and increase your plant diversity with 20 or more varieties of vegetables, greens, herbs, and fruits when you're eating, okay? Then we have the 3-day water fast. So Dr. Walter Longo discovered patients with cancer could reboot their entire immune system if they went 3 days without food. And what happens is old immune cells, like white blood cells, T helper cells, and TD4 cells that are ineffective or worn out would regenerate through a process that results with stem cell production, okay? So the stem cells are made at around 72 hours, and these stem cells provide deep healing. We talked about that just a few minutes ago when I was talking about the intestinal stem cells. I gave you a brief overview of what stem cells were. So the 3-day water fast really is about deep cellular healing and cellular detox. This is a great quarterly fast or twice a year fast, and it's specifically used for healing, or it can be used if you have a specific condition. But again, that is the type of fast that you should be doing with a coach, with someone, your doctor should know about it. You should be discussing this with more than yourself. And then the last is a dry fast. So there is little research other than what has been done in Muslim communities around the practice of Ramadan. But here are some of the benefits that they have seen. So the first is that dry fasting signals the body to make BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotropic factor. Okay, this is like fertilizer for your brain. It helps you grow new neurons, and those neurons are the ones that increase your memory and your learning. Okay, dry fasting also lowers inflammation, which several of the other types of fasts do as well. So a dry fast is pretty intense because you're not eating or drinking anything. And then the third one is that it might help balance cholesterol. So research has shown that your good cholesterol, the HDL, goes up, and the bad cholesterol, the LDL, goes down. So in Dr. Mindy, so she's my mentor, she has found in her practice where she's treated millions of women that dry fasting really, her experience is it shouldn't last more than 24 hours because the body is really not intended to go that long without drinking. She's also found that the 3-day water fast produces about the same results as a 24-hour dry fast, with the exception that the 24-hour dry fast produced more ketones. So clients or patients that did the dry fast actually were in a deeper state of ketosis, which honestly, again, this is about healing. And for some people that might be okay, but for the majority, it's probably not necessary and it can be dangerous. So once you have mastered intermittent fasting, like 13 to 15 hours, then you can begin to explore extended fasting for increased health benefits. This is what is known as creating a fasting lifestyle. Okay, but what I will tell you is that it is not healthy to do the exact same fast every single day. And when I say that, I'm mostly talking to women because I am a women's health coach. It's unfortunate and unfair, but dudes can kind of do whatever they want in this scenario. Whereas for women, creating a fasting lifestyle requires special care and training due to the sensitivity of our female hormonal cycle. I cannot stress this enough. I'm going to get a little loud about it every time we talk about it. Like, you have to work fasting into your feminine cycle, not the other way around. You can't just fast willy-nilly, however and whenever you want. You have to know where you are in the cycle to decide what's best for your health. And here's the thing, like, yes, you're going to feel great because there are some benefits that are produced by fasting that are going to give you immediate feel-good results. But what it is doing to your hormones is what is dangerous. And unfortunately, those are things that we can't see. So these are silent, but potentially catastrophic problems. And if I would be a terrible coach and a terrible advocate if I got on here and did not impress upon you ladies how important this is. We are already suffering from perimenopause symptoms. We already have a whole host of issues going on. If we want to fix the problem and we want to get to the root cause, the very first thing we have to do is we have to understand that feminine cycle. Okay. So for instance, during the first part of our menstrual cycle, like day 1 through day 10, when estrogen is being produced, fasting is completely safe and perfect. In fact, I highly recommend it because estrogen benefits from stable blood sugar. So fasting and a low carb ketobiotic style of eating can help alleviate your PMS symptoms like bloating and cramping and heavy bleeding. Okay, remember when I did the episode on PMS, we did talk about those are symptoms of an estrogen imbalance. Well, estrogen gets imbalanced because we have insulin that's not in check. Okay, so utilizing fasting in that front half of the cycle is fantastic and highly recommended. Now, when we get to the second half of the cycle, it's critical not to fast or to restrict our carbohydrates. Now, when I use the term carbohydrates, I'll, for a few more episodes, hammer this in, but hopefully you'll come to realize that I mean nature's carbs. Okay, when I say carbs, I don't mean bread, I don't mean pizza, I don't mean rolls or wraps or any other kind of keto. None of it is healthy for you. Carbs that are man-made, man-produced, not healthy. When I'm talking about carbs, I'm talking about nature's carbs that come from green beans and sweet potatoes and beans and lentils. They're natural and they're also high in fiber. Okay. So in this stage where progesterone is the dominant hormone in that second half, progesterone relies on glucose for optimal function. So there is no restriction of carbs at this time. And since progesterone is sensitive to stress and fasting is considered a form of hormetic stress, it is not recommended ever. 13 to 15 hours is max during your nurture phase. For more detailed information on managing fasting with your hormone cycle, make sure you go to my website to download that cycle literacy guide. It is completely free. And you can, of course, I'm always available for you to ask questions. Fasting can be a really powerful tool for women, but it must be aligned with the natural fluctuation of your hormones. No excuses. It is irresponsible, period. Also, I do firmly believe that for longer fasts that are for glucose stores and to help insulin resistance, you need a glucose monitor. Like, you need to be pricking your finger and testing your sugar so that you can see. It's really helpful to see what's happening at all stages of your fasting journey. It's also for safety reasons, because if your glucose drops too low, you want to break your fast. You're trying to heal, not create more damage. And it's not just fasting that's important. What you eat in the eating window matters. Food is medicine. So breaking your fast properly is equally important. For shorter fasts, just being sure that you're breaking the fast with a balanced meal that contains protein, healthy fat, fiber, and greens. Try your best to stay away from carbs in that very first meal, okay? Keep things savory, keep them protein packed, unless you're trying to stay in autophagy, in which case then we're going to focus on plant-based meals that are as diverse as possible. For fasts that are longer than 24 hours, there is a proper protocol. So the first thing that you need is to introduce some bone broth, okay? This is also a great way when you're training your body to go longer periods. If you feel like you need to eat something, bone broth is a great way. Preferably that delicious homemade kind that has the loads of collagen from your roasted beef bones. That helps to heal the gut, right? This is very healing for the gut lining. So 24-hour fasts are longer. When we break the fast, we want to have some bone broth. And then about 30 minutes later, you can add some healthy fat with a probiotic type food, okay? And then steamed veggies, and then finally protein like meat or beans or tofu or whatever. But each step should be about 30 minutes apart. And if you struggle at a step, then you're going to go backwards and start from there. So, for instance, if you get an upset stomach eating veggies, then go back to just healthy fat and your probiotic. If the fat is an issue, then you want to go back to just bone broth, try again, and then in 30 minutes, you can try to add something else. Remember that past 24 hours, we're healing the gut. So what we put in really matters after. Like, we're setting the stage for the state of the microbiome. So I hope that this has offered a little bit of insight to you on how fasting offers a wide variety of benefits that extend beyond just weight loss. So from improving your metabolic health to promoting brain function and longevity, fasting can be a really powerful tool for enhancing your overall well-being. The purpose of today's podcast was to really impress the importance of approaching fasting in a responsible manner. Like, I highly recommend you speaking with a healthcare professional before starting any fasting regimen, especially if you have underlying health conditions. I would also seriously consider hiring a health coach who's able to walk you through the process, or at the very least, get you started with all of the right tips and tricks for how to fast for your specific conditions. Okay, because when done correctly, fasting can be a transformative practice that not only improves your physical health, but also supports your emotional and mental well-being. So thank you for being here today. I hope you got a lot out of it. As always, I am here to answer questions and help guide you as best I can. So keep your questions coming. Keep being curious. Keep sending them to me because I do love getting them. And just forgive me if I'm a little bit adamant about the responsibility of this particular tool in the holistic toolbox. Okay, fasting definitely needs to be done in a responsible manner. Until next time, friends, be kind, be well, cultivate your health. Thank you for joining me on this journey to educate and empower. I hope you found value in what you heard and will come back to listen again. Together, we're going to create a community of women empowered to transform their health. If you're excited to be part of this, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with the other women in your life who need health support tailored to that X chromosome. Until next time, be kind, be well, cultivate your health.